I'm a public servant. I always say it very proudly. I'm a business manager at a government secondary school. Always throw in the government. My name is Elaine Capps. I'm the business manager at Warnbro Community High School, which is part of the Department of Education, secondary schools. My job entails anything to do with non-curricular issues, and it's the finances, the buildings, the facilities, the security of the school, support staff. We try and cover a lot of areas in the school to support the school and the kids and the teachers. Mostly what she's doing is doing that behind the scenes work to allow everything else to work. It's through Elaine that all the computers are working. It's through Elaine that the library is functioning. It's through Elaine that the educational aides are actually supporting the kids in their education. I was a foundation staff member, so I've been here from the day that the first child walked through, and that was 16 years ago. I feel as though I know every stone in the school. I feel as though I've made a decision on just about every component of the school, even down to the bricks and where they're going to go. She's been the glue for this school in so many ways, and there's so many people have so much loyalty to her. I love the interaction with the people.
Hi, how you going?
I love the fact that no day is the same, that every day you're out doing something different. I mean, she manages 45 people, and they're across an incredible range of occupations, from computer technicians.
She has come up with good ideas all the time.
To gardeners.
She backs you 100%.
To educational aides.
She's totally awesome at her job, and I don't know what I'd do if I didn't have her at the helm.
It doesn't matter how young or how old someone is, she relates to them on that level, you know, and she just brings her goodness, her persona, her character, you know, just comes out. I have worked in the private sector, and when I came into the Department of Education and got into the schools, I just found it so much more humane. I think working with the young people, also in having that rapport with some of the students, you know, I just love that in the morning when you open the gate. They're just gorgeous, because as they go through they'll say, "Thank you, miss."
Good morning, miss.
You know, and it just makes a really good start to the day, because you are dealing with really good kids.
She's a hero because she gets everything done, and she goes above beyond what is in her job criteria to get it done.
There's two levels to Elaine. She can be as tough as nails when she has to be. Yes, they are frightened of me at times. There's a bit of a joke around the school about the fear that goes through someone if they lose a key. People are terrified of me and keys. Is that what you heard? And I must confess, on one occasion, I actually lost the master key for the whole school. The principal lost his keys. My palms were sweaty. We've had so many incidents of where keys have been put down and students have taken them, and I've had to re-key buildings. There was a steely look on her face. And I just gritted my teeth and said, when, how, and what were you doing at the time? She's got this front that's strong and powerful, but we all know that ticking away really is a really, really gentle heart. Yeah, it's fun. The profile of a public servant is that of a bludger, of a person that doesn't provide the service that they're meant to provide. But I have found that my interaction with public servants across the state, that's not the case. Public servants, they work hard, and I think they work harder now than they did when I first started about 26 years ago. So you're going to work after hours, are you, today, to do that? I don't believe that I am working. I just believe that I'm part of a team doing something, and the reward is I go home at night feeling very happy with what my day's been. I just love my job.
See you later, girls. See ya.
If you want opportunities, if you want to expand, you want to grow, you want to experience a lot of different facets of life, go and work for the public service.
The situations I've come across in my 17 years, mainly when I was working as a child protection officer, if I told these stories, people would just go, how can this happen? Recently, someone walked into one of our district offices with a child on a pram, approached reception. The receptionist was on the call, but when she came out, he had just left the office, left the child in the pram and disappeared. They just wheeled the child in and just left. So these are kind of, sometimes I'd say, unmanageable situations that the department may come across, that people don't even realise this may be happening. O meu nome é Eduardo José da Cruz Farate. Eu cheguei de Portugal em agosto de 1988. Eu trabalho como em política social no Departamento para Proteção à Criança. My career with the Department of Child Protection has been going now for about 17 years, both in the child protection field and now in policy. It's always to do with ensuring children's safety and, in doing so, keeping families together. Unfortunately, there are circumstances where parents, for whatever reason, are unable to ensure their children's safety. Parents using substances of addiction or because of alcoholism, domestic violence. So it's really critical that there is an agency such as the Department for Child Protection that is able to step in and protect children. As a child protection worker, you have to make really hard decisions. And the hardest decision can ever be made is one of taking a child into the care of the department. That's the hardest decision as a parent myself that I had to take. Certainly does take a toll, and that's where the department does a lot of work in trying to ensure that workers out there in the field have the support they need. The work I'm doing now is focused on the cultural and linguistic diverse communities. In this state, over 27% of our population is from a culturally and linguistically diverse background. Now, these are people that come from very different life circumstances, from countries where there's different cultural norms. So part of my work here is ensuring that the department's policies, department's guidelines take into account the needs of that cohort. For me and for our family coming over to Australia, we came looking for a better life, and we certainly got it. And I think it's getting sort of goes on in the family, with my daughter also working for the Department of Child Protection.
He's always been my hero. My name is Susana Maria Cardoso Ferraz. I work as a legal support officer for the Department of Child Protection, and Eduardo is my father. Ever since I was little, I would look to him for guidance, mentoring, direction, and just always sought his advice.
Today I was asked to bring, I don't have a photo in my office, I've got to get the camera, but look
no.
at this.
So embarrassing. That old photo was taken a very long time ago. It was 6 years from when we had arrived in Australia. We were still trying to find our feet as new migrants. So this is the day you got the bachelor's degree.
That's right, back in the day. It's graduation.
We had so many photos to choose from, and you chose that one. Any officer who works in Department of Child Protection certainly are those unrecognised heroes who do one of the hardest jobs in the world and often don't get much praise for doing it. When you work in the public service, you're able to actually give something back to the community. Take care. I've never looked back, and I think I'm going to stay on this position for a while longer, and in the public service as well, because I feel that it's an important, a very important job that we do.
I see trees as important for my life. The tree takes in carbon dioxide, which I breathe out, and produces oxygen, which I breathe in within the air. So we both need each other, and I think that's what a lot of people should understand. My name's Tom Keneally. I work for the Department of Environment Conservation. I'm based at the Collie office, and my role is a Sustainable Forest Management Coordinator. In the Wellington district, I would say we'd have about 80% forest. Young trees are healthy trees. They produce more oxygen compared with a big old veteran, but it's also important to have diversity in the forest as well. So I enjoy seeing the diversity. It takes a long time for habitat trees to develop. What's your food here, Charlie?
Tom's one of these rare guys who has more energy than most of us know what to do with. When we all go home at the end of the day, Tom goes off as a volunteer for the local fire and rescue.
In my job, I'm also a bushfire duty officer, and so I'm responsible for, under our standing orders, preparing the detection and the response plans in the event of a fire. I think this year we had 69 fires. It's a bit like being a captain of the ship. You have people become radio operators for you, people doing timekeeping, people planning resources, and logistically you have dozers and loaders and water tankers as well. So there very much is a time critical situation, and it has to be appropriate and timely.
This guy's just one part of a very small community that has some of the state's major infrastructure. We've got 4 massive power stations here. Lights go out in Perth, it may be because one of our big power stations has fallen over. But you've got a guy like Tom here, like a guardian angel over that.
Roger, Wellington 5-2. Once you've pushed in that track, you can return to the collie office. Collier.
He's a real encyclopedia on legs. He knows what he's talking about.
Well, down the fire station they call me Oxford, because they reckon I'm like the Oxford Dictionary.
He keeps coming up with brilliant, simple, innovative solutions.
I do a lot of lateral thinking. I like a constant mental challenge all the time.
If there's a job that needs to be done, that's, especially if it's complicated and almost impossible, he's Mr. Mission Impossible.
We have these Type 1 helicopters here in the southwest that pick up water from larger water bodies and take and deliver to fires. Last winter was pretty drastic in that there was no water in the water holes that we've always known to have water.
The need there was to make a portable arrangement for water. I looked at these 20-foot sea containers, or boxes as the industry call them, and thought, well, why can't they hold water? So with the support of my manager and other people in the department, we started with a Mark I version. Its first deployment of the tank was at Lake Clifton Fire on the Forest Highway just south of Mandurah. We got the thumbs up to the extent that FISA are now building 2 of those tanks for this coming fire season. Yeah, it was a great feeling actually. I'm pleased to be able to develop something that will be a benefit to the community far and wide.
Another one, for instance, is the a short messaging system.
It's an ability to send out multiple SMSs, same message to a group of people quickly.
He can notify anyone heading to an incident, exact position, fire behaviour, conditions to expect, or other hazards to be aware of, before we even get there.
Our crews love it, and our guys have actually used the forecast, in particular the fire out near Worsley Refinery. They used it to determine what flank was the safe flank to attack, because they had it on their phones.
It's just a great little system that is comparatively cheap and works.
G'day, how you going?
One of the best things about Tom is he likes everybody to have a laugh.
My mission every tea break is to make people laugh in the tea room so that they relax a bit and feel like it's really good to be in a place like this. Public service is misunderstood by a lot of people. People don't think you deliver what you should deliver, but that's so far from the truth, it's not funny in my game.
He has that capacity and he demonstrates it with phenomenal regularity, that he will stand up and deliver and essentially keep our community safe.